Well, hello there, Tommy here. Today I'm in southern Karelia, eastern Finland, at the border between Finland and Russia. Behind me is Russia, and it's very peaceful here because the border crossing point is closed, as well as the other 7 border crossing points between Finland and Russia. And they have been closed since last fall. The reason for this being that Russia started funneling third country immigrants from places like the Middle East to the Finnish side, flooding the system. Some 1,300 immigrants appeared at the border crossings last fall. After that, the Finnish government closed all the border crossings. All 8 remain closed as of recording this in March of 2024. We're going to go to the nearby town of Imatra to see how the border crossing has affected people's lives here. After this stand-up of mine, the Finnish border guards came to see who I was and what I was doing there. They were friendly and relaxed and didn't even ask to see my ID. Some people live right by the border. There were big plans to develop hospitality industry to entice more Russian tourists into the region. Even a rail connection between Imatra and St. Petersburg was on the planning stages. But those plans are all scrapped for now. The region that depended on Russian tourism is struggling. The border traffic was already limited since the COVID pandemic. After Russia started its war against Ukraine in February of 2022, Finland stopped granting tourist visas to Russian citizens the following fall. Miltä se tuntuu asua tässä näin lähellä Venäjän rajaa?
Siihen on tottunut vuosikymmeniä aikana.
Pirjo and Juhani have lived here in Imatra all their lives. Juhani says they've gotten used to living so close to the border. They like living by water, the Vuoksi River. People like walking here.
Joka tapauksessa tänne tarvitaan ihmisiä.
We need people here. Southeast Finland is dying, Juhani says. Täällä Imatralla?
No, se on vaikuttanut sillä tavalla, että muutamia kauppoja on suljettu.
Helmi lives just 2.5 kilometers from the border. The border closing has affected things so that a few stores have closed.
Rajat pitää vaan kiinni.
Keep the border closed, Helmi says. It is so empty here, it's eerie. The first time they closed the border was because of COVID back in 2020. And after that it was supposed to open again, and then Putin started his war in Ukraine.
No, vähemmän venäläisiä turisteja ainakin.
There's no more Russian tourists, and the stores at the border have closed, says Jenny.
Ei oikein muuten.
It's an early afternoon here in Imatra on a beautiful Friday. Looks very quiet around here. At the big landmark hotel here, I only see a few cars parked on the parking lot. Gone are the Russian tourists and the trade that they brought with them.
No, turisteja käy vähän.
Retired painter Juha is from here. There's less tourists, but it doesn't affect me. I don't go to the other side. Store owners would like more customers. And what should be done with that border? Keep it closed.
No oikeastaan meillä ei ole koskaan suunnattu pelkästään niin kuin venäläisille tätä liiketoimintaa, että meillä on ihan paikalliset asukkaat ja sitten tulee paljon pitäjiltä ja Lappeenrannastakin tulee sitten asiakkaita, että ei oikeastaan, sanotaanko, että ei oikeastaan kauheasti.
We get business from the locals and from neighboring villages.
Ei.
Mutta varmaan tämä yleisilme tässä on hiljentynyt.
But surely things have quieted down. They have. But there are not many people walking here in the wintertime anyways. This is more of a summer town. Streets get filled with tourists then. We have the rapids and the historic hotel, so it doesn't bother me that there are no more Russian tourists.
Ei ole silleen kyllä. Ei haittaa yhtään, vaikka ei ole venäläisiä.
And what should be done with the border?
Pitää kiinni.
Keep it closed.
Vähemmän venäläisiä. Ei siinä mitään muuta.
IT professionals Juha and Tarja are not bothered with the border closing. It's more quiet. As you can see, there are no people. And we never went to the other side, so it didn't affect us. And as to the border itself, Juha and Tarja too think it should remain closed.
Kyllä, se näkyy tuossa meidän katukuvassa tosi paljon.
Pete is a native Imatra citizen. He runs this bar in downtown. The border closure is evident in the streets. In the past, there used to be traffic even in the wintertime when our neighbors from across the border were here.
Se onkin, että eihän tietenkään voi hyökkäävää sotaa käyvän maan kansalaisia voi ihan laskea miten sattuu, mutta sitten taas täällähän on iso ongelma
That's the problem. It's clear that you cannot permit just anybody from a country that is waging war. The big problem is that Russian people have summer homes around here, and they are not able to tend to them.
Ja just sitten kun se vie tuosta meidän keskustasta vielä niistä vähistä ihmisiä, mitä sieltä on ollut, niin kyllähän se hiljentää ton koko jutun. Et ei tässä ole muuta kuin kesää odotellessa.
I don't know what would be the solution. The border closure takes away from the little foot traffic we had. We're just waiting for the summer.
Kyllä myös ei tietenkään pois laitettu ketään.
Pete says Russians were never their core clientele. We have managed with Finnish tourists. After the COVID pandemic, tourism has been on the increase. And what about that border? Should it remain closed or should it be reopened?
Kyllä tai ei, niin raja kiinni vai auki?
Tässä vaiheessa kiinni.
At this point, closed.
As you can see, the closing of the Russian border has affected this region deeply. I hope you found this video informative. If you did and like to see more videos like this from Finland, please click subscribe and like. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.